state with a public announcement. Your BC is a state document. It is not federal. Your driver's license is a state document. It is not federal. Your passport is a federal document. It is not a state document. You must distinguish between documents because documents are based on jurisdiction. So, what that is based on the world of jurisdiction, which can be fictitious or it can be lawful, lawful or unlawful, legal or unlegal. There are two ledgers right before you, public and private, state and federal. You have to get with the United States Private Enterprise Free State to set up your four pillars the correct way if you want to win in this game. The game is life. The board game life was not the game that you played. That was just fictitious. It was on a board created by an entity. Created by an entity. So if it was fictitious and created by an entity, then it's unlawful. Therefore, we go to where laws are made. The congressional records, and then you have your private laws, and then you have your constitutional laws, you have your treaty laws, you have laws upon laws upon laws. So it's up to you what you want to do in the game. But your documents are based upon jurisdiction, based upon a book entry ledger. It's based upon you and what you restate on the record that you have never restated from the Baby Act when you were a baby. You could not speak for yourself, therefore, someone else spoke for you. But the someone else that spoke for you was incompetent. Therefore, you became a ward of the state through someone else's incompetency who gave birth to you. But it was concealment because she was never given proper identification, proper procedures. She did not sit at a table in a calm state, in a calm manner. This is coming out of birth. If she was in a hospital, then, the decisions that the mother made was not competent. Based upon concealment of the documents that she was signing with other entities that she knew nothing about. So the bottom line is that when you really, 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 really get down with what's going on right now, my people, the four pillars is your protection. Personal is private. Business is public. Now, you can have private businesses, but personal is always private. You can go and look that up. The bottom line is that your BC is a state document, not a federal document. Your passport is a federal document and it is not a state document. That is why you can use your passport to travel on land and sea because it is a federal document. And when you put it on the record that your passport is a driver's license, with your international attachment driver's license to that federal passport, now you're legit. You can hand that cop your passport along with your international driver's license, linked both to a system. A system, you have to be in the system, and that's what we show you here at the United States Private Enterprise Free State is freedom. So the four pillars is what you need. If you want to get these four pillars and done the right way, where you are protected before you even try to go in on the system, you must protect yourself on a personal level, which is private. And the segment of that privacy, what you put on the record, is now public for the world to see. So now the bottom line is that if you tuned in and you just heard what I said, then you understand that there are state documents and there are federal documents. Federal documents are in a different jurisdiction than a state document. That is sometimes why if you are in a court case, you may lose based upon the documents that gets moved out of one court into another court. But to kill all of that, there is a whole nother way to settle your cases out of court, out of their jurisdiction, in your jurisdiction where you can be free. So, those that are listening right now, big up to you because I done dropped you $1 million worth of game straight up. If you listen to the video from the front to when I end it, game has been dropped. 407-300-5377. If you want the game changer, if you want to settle all your cases out in your own jurisdiction, own and control your assets, your trust, your everything, this is what we teach here. This is how it's done. Classes are just $125. That's only $125 for a class, straight up. So, that's how we doing it. If you're going to roll, then you might as well roll, you know what I'm saying, without recourse. You want to roll where, this is it. You are the ruler, Why are you asking anything when you can ask king? You are the king, you are the queen, you are the trustor, you are the trustee, you are the beneficiary, you are the creator of everything that you do. So if you create, you own, you control. You can own and control the state documents. You can own and control your federal documents. You can own and control even if that decision was made for you unconscionably by your mother. You can go back and you can restate every record. Every record you can restate, just restate it. So, my people, this is a public announcement from the United States, private enterprise free state, 407 300 5377, where we drop jewels. We give the overstanding of the overruling of the judgment that we lay down in our court to be free. No one is higher than us, the creator of the creation of the asset that gets traded, trading places every day on a stock market, okay, by a bank, by people pushing paper pushers, and everything starts from a security agreement. The first security agreement is your BC. That is your first security agreement. So when you understand where the first security agreement comes from, then you know how to control and own at the same time. Okay, Libra is the balance of the universe. Libra will balance out what you do for yourself. Nobody else can do it. We steer you to the information that is right and exact up to this day. Nothing but right and exact information will keep your black ass out of certain situations that people want to place themselves in because some other guru told them some fake ass phony information. So, that shit will get you locked up, frivolous filings, all types of dumb shit. So, before you want to go in on a system like that, you need to get these four pillars, foundation for protection against whomever tries to rise up against your authority, against your rule. So, my people, I don't know what else to tell you, but you got to get in contact with the USPEFS where it's done. 407 300 5377. We got the private bankers class, it's $125. We got that postmaster class, that is $150. All these classes are 2-hour classes. We got the judge class. That is $125. We got the DMV class. That's $125. So, we got several classes that just interject you in and put you where you need to be. Each class is 2 hours. We give you what you need. You in, you out. You ain't coming back. You ain't even going nowhere else because you will have got it in a nutshell. You will know how to set up everything, interject yourself into the system, and start not having to worry about, oh, am I driving too fast? Am I this? Am I that? It doesn't matter because here we teach you how to get them up off of you because they like flies. They just annoy it straight up. So the bottom line is that DMV, you know how they treat everybody with these driver's licenses and all of that. It's a remedy for everything, but the remedy starts with you. The remedy is definitely all believing in what you do, what you put on paper. That's the true law. There's no other law higher than that. And if anybody oversteps that law, that is why you see war. Let me tell you where the real war is going to begin. The real war begins when you set your own system up of banking. Anybody that wants to get rich, there's a system of banking. Those that are rich right now, if you go back and watch old cowboy films, they rode into towns, they went straight to the saloons, they shot the people up in the saloons that owned the town, ran the town. The most of the time, the top banker was in the saloon, lived on the second floor. So they come in, they ride in, they shoot up. They can't shoot up people no more because there are laws on the record. There are constitutional laws on record. There are treaty laws on record. There are state laws on record. There's federal laws on records. It's all these type of different laws, UCC laws, everything is all on the record. So now they can't just come into a town and shoot it up, but they can come into a town above in airspace and drop chemicals on your ass. That's what the fuck they do. That's the true cowboys. When they talk about space cowboys, that's what they're talking about. Niggas that control the air, space. You can buy air space. There probably are space stations out there, up there in the air. So if you own airspace and you own aircrafts, which are motor vehicles, they may be called other things, they fly their conveyances through the air and drop the chemical. They drop the chemical on you. That is a cowboy maneuver. That is a space cowboy, where they control the space above your head and just drop shit on you. Now, if our airspace is 6 feet wide, 6 feet latitude, 6 feet longitude around us, arm's length, if it touches us, you get sick. So now they create other made up viruses that the chemicals that they just sprayed on your ass through the air, space cowboys, not physical cowboys on the land no more. Now they're space cowboys just fucking you up. So now you got sick from 6 feet from their plane that just dropped some shit through the atmosphere. Now it hit your latitude and longitude. That is why you have to document your latitude and longitude. Because if they have penetrated your latitude and longitude without permission of giving you some type of notice that we're dropping, a plane just went out and we're going to be dropping chemicals on people. We think that you should all go take cover. No, they don't say shit like that. There's no warning for that. You have a case. 6 feet, that's why they did the virus shit, the 6 feet shit. Get it? 6 feet. You can't sue them because they warned you about the 6 feet and that there was a virus. But they didn't say that it was coming airborne. Airborne, they may have said one way, but they didn't say airborne, that we dropping this shit on you. We injecting it in your food, your water, the sea, anything. They didn't say shit like that. That's a space cowboy. Okay. Physical cowboys turned into space cowboys. Now you got these other motherfuckers up in the White House. Do you really think that Trump is going to give everybody back their so-called redemption package? He signed an executive order to give back everybody a redemption package. Has anybody filed for their redemption package? Because even to file for your redemption package, you have to have already had your 4 pillars in place, because you have to sign off on your own redemption package. Straight up. If you're signing off on your own redemption package, then it's yours. Straight up. That's the bottom line. So the redemption package is everything that was taken from you due to the concealment of them not telling you of what they was doing every time you signed a contract. You know, you just signing off contracts, a new car, a new house, you know, You take a loan out for anything, because the loan is going through the social, the SSN is going through that. So the SSN has a trust fund, the SSA trust fund, and other things that they call it. So when you get down to that, yeah, your securities have gone through three parties, and they needed your signature to even create the security. So if you're not reading your contract, then you can always go back and restate the contract. You can always go back into into the department that gives out the birth certificates down in your county or your state, and you can go in, have a meeting with them, call them up, schedule a meeting, and you can change and restate the birth certificate, because you're no longer a baby. You no longer live at that address that's on that birth certificate. You know what I'm saying? Because on the address of the birth certificate, that address of the birth certificate was the address of your mother, of where she was staying, of where the ambulance picked her, or, not even the ambulance, but it's where she put on the contract of where she's domiciled at. But where you were born was in the hospital. You wasn't born in her house. So on that birth certificate, it's going to say, give a hospital. The hospital is the people that are taking all your motherfucking interests. The hospital. You never had a place of home. The place of home was their hospital, who was in that hospital a noun, is a person, place, or thing that was housed on a jurisdiction that you were born into somebody else's business and trust. You was not born to your mother. Your mother never signed the birth certificate. If your mother never signed the birth certificate, she never owned you. You were not her child. You became the child of the state that's on that birth certificate. Therefore, you have to go back and restate the BC so that you can take controllership and ownership, take the ownership back into your court so that you can control it. And it's for fact that you can control it, because after a while, you're going to see what happens during your entire life. From day to day, things change. That's all anybody can say. No, you don't know what's going to change. You're just going to have to monitor your own life. You play by the game. You play by your rule book that you created under your Constitution. You can adopt the Constitution. You can adopt treaties. You can do what you want. But the bottom line is that if you don't understand the difference between court and federal, public and private, lawful and unlawful, legal and illegal, you will not get through. And you have to learn how to read, and you have to learn how to look up words in the dictionary, and you got to learn how to do all of that shit basically on your own. After you learn the 4 steps, the 4 pillars, how to get in, everything is non-combative and everything is at peace. What brings the war is banking. It ain't a man, it ain't a woman, it just has nothing to do with sexual. This is all based off of banking. So if you want to start wars, that's when you start a war, is when your bank is up. When you are operating how you're supposed to be really operating, that is what's going to happen. Your bank is going to take place, and that's what they're coming after. Your booty, your bounty, your assets, your property. They're coming after all of that because that's the bank. They're coming after the gold, the silver. That's what cowboys do. You have to understand who the fuck you're dealing with. You're dealing with cowboys. You dealing with the wild, wild west niggas. You know, Kumo D said the wild, wild west. You know what I'm saying? Because that nigga was trying to tell you something when he dropped the jam back then. So what these niggas telling you today, right now, is some BS, because you will have to go through the process to even learn the process, to live the process, to know shit, this shit is real. And you will start looking at shit differently, and you will start looking at people differently, because you will know who is awake and you will know who's not awake. It's based upon you can just tell. You can tell who, what families already knew and what people are just learning. You can tell because it's going to be the shit that you go through, the process. It's all life and it's all part of the process. So you have to base yourself in strength, army tactics, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Shaolin on a nigga, straight up. If you ain't based in protection tactics, then you ain't gonna make it, because you ain't gonna have nothing to fall back on. And the only thing that you can fall back on right now is paperwork. Paperwork is a monument in the game. The paperwork is what's going to get you out of a court case that is not even in your jurisdiction. Because if you read your Constitution, when the Declaration of Independence, when anarchy and society just goes haywire, you have the right to create court, you have the right to create state. That is why they don't want you to read nothing, and they have to keep you preoccupied on bullshit, distractions. You know what I'm saying? Yo, there's a book out called Distractions on Amazon. So y'all need to go check that out. The cover is Distractions, and the book cover is black with pink and green waves on it. You need to check that book out, Distractions. Yo, you need to go check out some of the some hot ass music by Sister Flame. Just, Sister Flame or Flame. Check out some of that music. Download it, kick it, ring it, pull it in. That's what we're talking about. So my people, the only thing that you really, 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 really need to get into is based upon your own lawful life, where if you walk in the straight and the narrow, that's the way to the riches, and we on the road to the treasury. And that's why you see Elon Musk and Trump, they trying to rename the IRS as the external IRS, internal, external. These niggas is just trying to take over the money, because that's where something was created. That's all you have to say. Who created the IRS? They say the IRS is federal. Well, if the IRS is federal, then that makes all the people federal. But how do you take your federal status back? That's what we teach you right here. How to take your federal status back so that you can control the IRS. And if Trump tries to change it to the external IRS, then we control that too. So my people, if you want to learn the real get down with this, then you're gonna have to give the make that phone call. 407-300-5377. This is a public announcement. The United States Private Enterprise Free State has spoken.